Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ibram Tristiantoni, and today I want to explain about the material. And the material is about slang and jargon. Let's go to the material. The first is slang. And what is slang? Slang is a type of language consisting of words and phrases that are regarded very informal. Slang are more common in speech than writing, and are typically restricted to a particular context or group of people. Words and expressions that are informal and not standard in English. And the example of slang. The first is lit. Lit is when something is very good, enjoyable, or exciting. And the example is your hat with an Indonesian flag is lit. And the next is salty. And this is when someone is upset or angry over something. And the example is I'm salty to cancel my trip to Germany this summer. And the next is slay. Slay is when you do really well or succeed or at something. And the example is I slayed this test, and like you do really well in the test. And the last is savage, is to describe a shocking event or a careless attitude. And the example is he borrowed my car, drove it into a house, completely crashed it, and didn't even apologize. Really savage. And the next is jargon. And what is jargon? Jargon refers to the specialized language of a professional or occupational group. While this language is often useful or necessary for those within the group, it is usually meaningless for outsiders. So jargon is just used in the circle of some group, and it's really meaningless for the outsiders. And you know what? Some professions have so much jargon of their own that it has its own name. For example, lawyers use legalese, while academics use academies. Jargon is also sometimes known as lingo or argot, and a passage of text that is full of jargon is said to be jargony. And the example of jargon, the first is due diligence. A business term, due diligence, refers to the research that should be done before making an important decisions. And the next example is owl. It's short of absent without leave. And owl is military jargon used to describe a person whose whereabouts are unknown. And the last example is hard copy, common term in business, academia, and other fields. A hard copy is a physical printout of a document as opposed to electronic copy. And the conclusion is slang is a type of language consisting of words and phrases that are regarded as very informal, and slang is only used in spoken language, and slang is informal and cannot be used in professional context, because slang is really informal and it's just when you talk with your friend, with your college, with your so slang cannot be used in a professional context. And jargon is a particular type of language that is used by those engaged in a specific profession or activity. And jargon can be used in both written and spoken context. And jargon is not informal and can be used in a professional context. And that was my explanation about slang and jargon. And thank you for watching and listening to my explanation. And thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.